Hi, leopards, and happy Spot-a-thon day. So, what is our Spot-a-thon exactly? Our Spot-a-thon is our fundraiser that our pals is doing, and you are collecting donations to come right back to our school. And for the Spot-a-thon, we get to do a bunch of enrichment activities. So today, Mr. McLeod has some team building games planned. Mrs. Micaiah has some music and movement. Mrs. Laux has a great story and activity for you all around our theme. And Mr. Mello, he's worked with your pals to do a Better Together snack mix. And my part, I get to share with you our community art project. Now, this year, our theme is around belonging. And we've talked at the very beginning of the year about what does belonging mean. We're going to continue to define what belonging means so that we are aware of how we can make sure that everyone in our school feels like they have a place here at LACMAS and that they belong. So, for our project, you're going to get some wooden squares. Some of the wooden squares will just be plain, but some of the wooden squares will have words on them that have a connection to help us understand belonging. Your first job is when your teacher passes out your wooden squares. If you have a plain one, great, save your plain one. But if you have one that has words, as a class, talk about what does needed have to do with belonging. What about words like present? Not meaning a gift, but meaning being in that place. What about invited? You see how some of the squares have words on them? Welcomed. Befriended. So there will be 10 squares in your class that have different words that connect and help us understand more. What does it mean to belong someplace? So have a great class discussion. But some of you will just get plain squares. All projects are coming together. So let's get down to what will our project look like. Now for this sample, I wrote on my square, belonging. Please don't put any other words on your squares, and you don't need your name because it's coming together for a community project. So on this, let's see how we're going to do our project. For your supplies for this, let me tip down so you can see. You will have your square. You might have just a blank one, or you might have a word one. You don't put your name on it because it's part of a community project. You want a paper towel to set your artwork on. You'll have a brush. You might want a little bit of water to share. We won't need much. And then your teacher will have 2 colors, and every grade level will have different colors. So for this project, after you get your square down, you might want to dip your paintbrush just in the water a little and then kind of squeeze it out because you don't want it sopping wet. You want it pretty dry. It just helps the paints blend. Your teachers will have your 2 color paints, and they're going to come around and ask you where you want your 3 dots of each color. That's right, you get 3 dots. That's it. So for mine, I might put 3 dots if I'm using purple and blue, 3 dots at the bottom. I might put of purple and 3 dots of blue at the top. You could decide, well, maybe I want a purple dot, blue dot, purple dot, blue dot, purple dot, and 3 dots going up and down. Maybe you want some in the middle. However you want your dots of paint, that's up to you because your job for the art is going to be blending. So let me show you. I'm going to open it up and your teacher will come around and I will say I want 3 dots of purple on the bottom, 3 dots of blue on the top. So I'm going to start with my 3 dots of purple. They don't need to be too big. Okay. And then I'll put this lid back in. And then my blue. I'm going to do my blue at the top. So one of the key things for your project is you'll want to start blending the lightest color, especially if you have the color yellow. You want to start with yellow. For me, my blue is lighter than my purple. So I'm going to start with my blue and blend it down. So for this, I'm going to take my 3 dots. I'm going to kind of brush them over. I have my paper towel here and go down until it gets thinner. See how I'm going right over? If you get a word one, you go right over your words. And then I'm going to take my purple. I'm going to take my purple and I'm going to go again, spread it out. Oops. This is why it's important to start with your lightest color first, because your darker color will come in and blend over. And then I just blend them together. You get it to where you like it, but you want to try to see both colors. You see how I see my purple and then it blends into the blue, and then up here it's just blue. So you get to create your own square. Your square will then just dry. I'm going to come around and pick them up, and you're going to see how all of our pieces come together for our community art project on belonging. Lackmas Leopards, have fun with your community project and make this a great day with your Spot-a-thon. Have a fantastic time.